York.
It's Ask an Engineer. We're back.
Yay! And we have the whole party team together. Hello, everybody. We've got
Hello, everyone.
Becky. We've got Phil.
Hello.
We've got a lot of empty space. It's still a little bit echoey.
Yeah.
We know it's echoey. Please don't tell us it's echoey. We understand that it's echoey. We got it.
We're moving in.
It's echoey.
Yeah, we've got a cat.
We've got a cat. It's over there. He's sitting on the beanbag. It's kind of cute. We'll show him later. We've got an exciting show. We've got 2 weeks worth of fun to catch up on. We didn't have last week's show because of...
Right. Sandy. And let me tell you what's on the show. Tonight's code is going to be Sandy. We'll tell you why in a second. You probably know.
If you could guess.
Yeah. We're going to go over the show and tell. We're going to be talking about our experiences here in Lower Manhattan. We have some photos that live from, or formerly live from the scene. And we'll tell you about our adventures in charging things and being in an empty city and kind of getting around without having a company for 5 days. It was tough, but we are tougher. Then we're going to talk about Mickey Monday.
This is the 3D printed, 3D Thursday,
Show
Mickey
Phil's
Monday.
costume.
Demons.
A little bit of open source hardware. Some big news in open source hardware. We'll have a mailbag. We'll have a jobs board. We have some news about the coloring book. We have some interesting new things to the Adafruit learning system. We've got some pie things. Every week we do that. And tons of new products. We're going to spend a lot of time tonight on things like the new Arduino,
Micro,
the FLORA, and many other stuff. If we have time, we have some top secret.
Ooh.
We'll answer your questions.
Ooh.
We have a trivia question. We'll have all that and a cat.
And a Becky.
On Ask an Engineer. All right. So
we have to refer to Becky as Lady Becky right now because
that's cool.
We're in the middle of legal.
Not Becky Portons.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be off to the side.
You're gonna be Lady Phil.
Yeah. That's what I prefer to be.
I'm just kidding.
I don't mind.
Only on weekends.
Yeah. So welcome back.
We're here. We're alive.
We're all here.
Yeah,
we're all alive.
We're all here. We're all alive.
We have a banana.
Yeah. We had a pretty rough week. Basically, Adafruit was shut down for 5 days. We'll go into that in a bit. We have kind of a photo montage of it. And your place where you live got hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
We were without power. Our place got hit. There was like a lot of problems. This area still hasn't recovered all the power. That's a few blocks away from here is still
really
stuff.
Yeah.
We're very lucky. We're only a couple blocks away from condemned buildings and shut down blocks and no power and like oil slicks.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
I got all of those.
Oh, yay! We got bingo.
So,
bingo.
The code tonight is Sandy. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight, folks. So the code is Sandy, and what we're going to do is it's 10% off everything in the Adafruit store. Anything that's in stock is 10% off. Normally, it's going to only last till midnight. And here's why we're doing this. Any amount of discount applied, so let's say if you were going to buy something for $10 and you got the 10% off thing, so it's $1 off, we're going to match that and we're going to give whatever discount that we gave to customers, we're going to match that and give it to probably the City Harvest. Yeah. New York got hit really hard and we want to give some money back. We're doing okay. Adafruit's a sturdy company. We did, I'll talk about it later, we did go down in revenue. Altogether, I'll go over it. Adafruit is a company roughly $100,000. That's how bad not having internet or being able to get into our factory for a week plus. We weren't even allowed into the building. Yeah. So we're okay though, but a lot of other people aren't, and so we're going to help them. We were going to donate anyways, but if you want to take advantage of the sale, we're going to match it. So there you go. That's what we do, and we'll make sure that we post up. The City Harvest folks. We'll send them an email and we'll let them know as well, so folks can do that. So anyways, the code is Sandy, and that's going to be live until midnight. Okay, let's go into the show and tell.
Show and tell was exciting.
Yeah, show and tell.
We had a lot of guests, which is great. Last week, unfortunately,
you guys want to start doing this? I'm going to do something.
We started up with Erin, Robot Girl, who came in with her eyebrow bot.
I like eyebrows.
2 eyebrows, 1 eye.
It was quite nice. And her robot birds
were squeaky. And she had robot birds. And don't forget, Erin Robot Girl has a Indiegogo campaign for
robot bird kits.
We posted about it, and also maybe someone will post it in the chat. So go and check out her awesome Indiegogo. Bradley, he's a pipe organ maintenance fellow. That's his job. That's what it says on his business card. He's got the things, he taps them and he fixes them, and they're complicated. They're not complicated
machines.
They're
really complicated.
It's a full-time job.
He said that they're often in places where there's not like sturdy flooring for heavy machinery or rigging, so when they install them and maintain them, they have to like have lots and lots of people to grab onto. It was very like manual and but except for he made lots of LEDs.
Yeah, so they have a show at this school. I don't remember the school, but they have a show and every Halloween, and it's like scary pipe organ music.
Yeah.
And so he went crazy with LEDs. He got like something like
16 reels of
100 meters.
Yeah, 16 reels.
Yeah, like 100 meters of LED strip. And then he controlled it with some PWM drivers. And we have a really lovely PWM driver in the store, the PCA 9685, which is this awesome LED driver. I actually use it for servos, but it's also good for LEDs. And he's like, that's a good way to drive like all of this LED strip. And so he used our breakout board to prototype, and then he designed his own board, and it's kind of cool. Maybe he'll post up some photos and video.
It's the kind of organ maintaining that they do on Pimp My Ride.
Yes.
It's not maintaining, upgrade.
Yeah, this is an upgrade.
My organ, yeah.
So he did, and he said it's a big improvement. Guillermo showed up. He came back and showed up. He's making a Raspberry Pi console box, and the idea is you can have an on-off switch, which doesn't. The Raspberry Pi doesn't have an on-off switch, so you actually have to like shut it down like by hand. And it's actually kind of a pain. And so one of the things I would like to do is have my Raspberry Pi with the on-off switch, so I don't have to like SSH in and log in. So he's figured out how to do that. That's cool. And then he also used BuildRoot to make a distro that's super lean.
Boots up in a few seconds.
Boots up in 4 seconds, which is really cool. I mean, you just pull everything out, and you can get a fast booting Pi. So it's basically it looks instant, like you turn on, like nearly instantly turns on. Chris Portwright showed up again. He's not happy upgrading his horses. He's not happy upgrading his pool. He's now upgrading his snow blower.
No, he's very happy doing those. He wants to.
No, he's not satisfied. He's not satisfied.
Nothing will satiate his.
He does not.
He's building. It looks like Johnny 5, but he's making a robot system for on top of a snowblower using a Raspberry Pi.
So you can remotely webcam see what the snowblower's going.
He's going to use a GPS to like map out where it has to. He's going to drive it once, and then it will map out the coordinates, and then it's going to be like a UAV, but it's going to be an unmanned snow blowing vehicle.
I think they're slightly less dangerous than lawn mowers, but only slightly, right?
Well, it's a farm. I mean, there's like nothing out there.
And also
it's full of snow. Like there's nothing out there.
Right.
Like hedgehogs, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, so we'll see where that goes. It's probably.
I think a snowblower is safer than a
safer, but how much?
Than a lawnmower.
Right?
Oh, he's going to watch the video. If he doesn't see, then he'll turn it on.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, and then Jeremy showed up, and he was talking about how he did a project with Disney World, which is the one in Orlando, upgrading the world of electronic light.
The light parade.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Electric light parade.
I would not. I didn't go there. I've never seen this. I don't.
We should probably go sometime.
Listen, I had a busted leg the one time I went to Disneyland. All I had to, the only thing I had was the electric light parade. Already.
I want to go to this. I want to go on golf day maybe, but I heard it's really hot.
Yeah, it's usually
in the middle of the summer to make everyone have maximum parade.
It's like August 10th is golf day, so it's like your mascara is melting all over the place. Anyway,
it's really cool that he worked with Disney and switched out a bunch of strobe lights from however long ago.
Yeah.
These really old floats to LEDs, which should save on battery and have a longer life.
And it's interesting, he's saying that it's all run off of car batteries because they don't want to have gas because they probably are kids
right up against it. Yeah, and it's as quiet then too. But banks and banks of car batteries. That's crazy.
But it's because it's like they probably just built this in the 70s.
They did.
Then they've just been incrementally upgraded. They've been incrementally upgraded with slightly better car batteries. Anyways, so that was a show and tell. If you would like to be on the show and tell, it's very easy. Go to the Adafruit Google Plus page. It's so easy to get there. plus.google.com/plus Adafruit. Yay! Look for the post where it says, comment here to be added to the show and tell circle. We added you to the show and tell circle. Bam!
Yeah.
You can show and tell
anytime
you please. Well,
9:30 on Saturday.
Show and tell.
Saturday.
Forever.
Yeah.
Participants in the show and tell receive a show and tell sticker. So, by the way, we do that now. So, if you were on the show and tell, let us know and we send you out a show and tell sticker. And one of the cool things was at Maker Faire, we saw projects that we saw previously and people proudly displaying their as seen on the show and
Thankfully,
tell.
this is not like one of those valid in 49 states. It's valid in every state in every country.
Yeah, and Puerto Rico might be a 51st state soon.
That's
by the way,
exciting.
there's an election.
Okay, anyway.
There was an election recently. Okay.
There was a damn hurricane.
Okay, so let's tell the story. So one of the things that happened that was pretty unfortunate was some weather came up. So we were watching the news and we were prepared. We thought, well, we might there might be a storm. Our folks might be coming in late. And each day we were watching it, and the forecasts were pretty
We had
good.
water. We had food.
Yeah,
We had batteries. I charged up all my big lithium polymer batteries.
Yeah, we stocked up. We did everything the local and state and national government told us to. We were well prepared. Last year there was Irene, and I had a go bag. I had tarps. I had everything. Now we got really lucky. Adafruit just moved to our new location. We just moved out, and so where we live now is the old Adafruit headquarters. There's skylights, and there could have been a good chance of them breaking. There's high winds, and our inventory could get ruined. So we're very happy that we moved out. However, the hurricane did hit. So here's a satellite photo of it. It was
like a perfect hurricane.
It was a monster. And so on Monday, Sunday is when the rain started happening. And Monday is when it really cranked up.
But it was not actually so much rain and wind, but there was this surge. Yeah, there's a lot of water.
The storm hit at exactly the same time as high tide on the night of a full moon, so the tides would be the highest.
Yeah.
The storm surge was they thought 11 feet, but it ended up being closer to 17.
Yeah, and although it didn't seem like a destructive storm so much here in the city because there's so many tall buildings, it was silently the water was getting higher and higher and higher. So here's some photos from like our area right here, and this is.
So this is down. This is down at the sushi place.
This is a restaurant we used to go to.
They are really one of our favorite sushi restaurants.
Yeah, it's right around the corner from us. Underwater, still not reopened yet. Here's a photo from a subway tunnel, filled up. This is one block. Or the same block as the new Adafruit factory in Soho. The scaffoldings they banged up against the building so much, went through the windows. Here's the restaurant that's across the street, awnings, everything.
Yeah, there's trees.
Yeah. Collapsed scaffolding everywhere. Any type of trees blown over. This is a tour of, again, just a few blocks from here. This area still doesn't have power. They still can't get in there. This is a couple days after the water was still going. This is our kind of the daily walk that we go around the corner here. So a lot of destruction. Our apartment, the old Adafruit area, was without power for about 5.5 days. Half the building still didn't have power. There's condemned buildings here because the garage is filled up with water. The cars were in there. The gas came out. The city says we can't turn on the electric, so they're still.
And they really crammed cars in those garages, like they can't get them out.
So here's more. These are all photos I took, and what we tried to do is give everybody a lot of updates as this happened. So immediately we just called it. We said, you know what, this is a disaster, and you know the city said you're in a disaster area. So we knew that it was going to be problematic, and then there was an explosion on 14th Street, and that knocked out all the power from basically like 34th Street down. So I'll show a couple photos, but all of Lower Manhattan went dark. So they preemptively turned the power off in Lower Manhattan.
They were starting to.
Yeah, and then there was a
transformer.
Then there was a transfer station that blew up, and that was unexpected. So in Soho, that was knocked out until Saturday.
39th down to like Houston, basically, but then below Houston was turned off voluntarily. But then everything goes so damaged that they're like, okay, everything has to.
So here we are Monday morning. We changed our site, and this is for the business owners out there. A couple tips. We reacted very fast. We told every customer we're not shipping. Thank you for the order. We're not shipping. This is a disaster area. We put up banners all over our site. We have it in the checkout process. We want to let everyone know we don't know what's going to happen next. All we know is there's no power. We had 3 different hotspots. Of course, the internet connection all kind of went out. So then we had 3 different hotspots.
So there's no cellular.
2 of them, Sprint was completely down in the area. AT&T was down. Verizon, surprisingly enough, was fantastic. So I was down to 1 hotspot, and we had enough battery power and food and everything for like.
2 days.
We could have lasted a week, but as far as like battery power for computers, eventually we were getting down, so 2 or 3 days was the max, and so we eventually started to make other arrangements. So we had some solar charging going on. Becky, you had a really interesting setup. Maybe you can talk about what you did.
Yeah, so those last 3 pictures were at my place. The flooded intersection is where I live, and so the power didn't go out in most of Brooklyn. It was pretty much fine, but my building's right on the Gowanus Canal, which is a national Superfund site for one of the most toxic, polluted places in the country. and the canal overcame its banks, and water was coming in the mail slot. And so power went out at around, I don't know, high tide time, 8:30 or 9 o'clock. I wasn't in the building, but those pictures was taken by my neighbor. And then the power and the heat, because the steam boiler's in the basement. And so this setup is a car battery and an inverter, which I used to power my laptop and my hotspot and a lamp there just for a show. It was a CFL, so it's low wattage at nighttime. And that got me pretty far. It was pretty warm right after the hurricane, so I could still blog. I was making blog posts while you guys were riding your bikes to Midtown.
Yeah.
And it was fine in there until it got too cold because the temperature dropped. So then my building's still really in bad shape. It's not.
Yeah.
The water's not completely out.
Basically, people shouldn't be living in your building right now.
Right, and I'm moving out, so but all my stuff's still there. But this battery situation lasted. That battery lasted me even just using the light only at night and charging my laptop, my hotspot, which uses a lot of power, and my cell phone for 4 days before the battery died. And that's a deep cycle marine battery. And then we had friends with cars and power in Brooklyn, because even I could go, to the grocery store, everything had power, but just right around the canal was all flooded. So friends with power could charge their batteries, and then it was pretty good. It's just hard to get someone to lug the battery up the 4 flights of stairs. So none of my stuff was damaged. It's fine. It's on the 4th floor.
Yeah. So we had some other employees. One was in Rockaways. They got hit really hard. Areas
buried in sand.
Basically destroyed. So he's doing some volunteer work there and helping out. So during all this, Lamore and I needed to start to get out of here because eventually we were running out of power. We needed to make sure we wanted to check on the Adafruit factory, even though we weren't allowed in. We worked with the building, and we would check up because the super of the building was in the Bronx, and eventually everyone started running out of gas. So we were checking up on the building. We were going to where there was cell service. We'd ride our bikes. So one of the things, here's a photo of Lady Ada in empty New York. Here we are in the back of the Adafruit factory. No tractor trailers, no loading or unloading. And one of the things that we did maybe a year ago was we bought these small folding bikes because I joked around, but I didn't mean it. I said, one day we might have to pedal out of Manhattan. It might be a disaster. We're 2 blocks from the Trade Center. And we're also on an island. And last year, Irene, we kind of expected one day there might be problems. So we actually used these little bikes. They're very good because once you get to your destination, you can fold the bikes up and go inside. You can also get on a bus or a car. They're very small. You can navigate around. So although it was very stressful and very scary, it was a very interesting bike ride because there's no cars, there's no anybody. New York was completely empty. We needed to check up on our neighbors. We wanted to make sure they were okay. Actually, one fellow unfortunately passed away in this building during all this. And we would come here and we had our flashlights. We had plenty of lighting. We would check everything out. MOSFET was here. We had to make sure he had food. And we would pedal up. We found a place to stay uptown. And then we would charge up and then we would come back here. Rinse and repeat. That went on for 5 or 6 days. Here's a little video of Lady Ada.
Okay, Lady Ada, what are you up to?
Cell phone.
Happy Halloween! No, just kidding. We're here at the old Adafruit factory where we also live right now, and this is the Thursday, so it's the 4th day without power or heat in this area, and we're just checking in again with our neighbors and checking out our space, and of course also the cat and making sure everybody's doing okay. And we have to get around with our flashlights, which is using my bike light for that. So hopefully we'll be back up and running. Comments said we'll probably have power tomorrow, but we'll see how that goes.
Okay, thank you everybody for sending nice emails and being patient.
Yeah.
Orders will be shipping soon.
Yeah, there's no postal UPS pickups. The post office has been flooded, so hopefully we'll get something going tomorrow or Monday.
No zombies yet, but we're prepared for that too.
Yeah, I have my zombie repellent spray.
Okay. Okay, Lady Ada, what?
Okay, and then here's the subway map during that week, and as they started to even reopen some of them, so you couldn't even get around until recently.
It was
Not all the
so
subways
hard. And then even getting a zip card was hard because they all ran out of gas. And I told them I had gas, so they let me make a reservation. I did have gas. I had a can of gas in it. Okay, so the next storm that hits, what's going to happen? We're going to fill our gas cans with gas. Make sure our cars, if we have cars, I don't have a car, has gas in it. And we're gonna. And I always thought I had that solar Li-Poly Minty boost.
Yeah, I think we're all going to be better prepared. I mean, this is kind of the future. Lots of bad weather. Here's a photo that was in New York Magazine. You can see this is all of where Adafruit is between the factory and where we live.
That's basically where like 2 million people live and work.
Yeah.
In that area. There's a lot of people. And then like there's one weird little sliver on the edge, which was like, coincidentally where Goldman Sachs is. And so everyone was like, oh, Goldman Sachs, like, they got to keep power, but nobody else did.
Yeah. So so fast forward to Saturday at 4:30 a.m. So I was alerted because our systems at the Adafruit factory, when they turn back on, I get an alert. So around 4 a.m. Okay, there's power. Power got turned on. So we went, over about a week. We contacted the building folks. They came in. We were the first ones on the scene. We made sure that the building was safe and secure. We did a very controlled power up of all the systems, made sure everything was great, there was no damage, nothing. And then we contacted our staff, and our staff is fantastic. One of the things that we decided to do, because we thought it was the right thing, is we paid everybody. So even if they're part-time people or hourly people or salary, whatever they expected to make that week, they got paid. And then we actually gave them something extra too, because they all decided to come in, and we had a few thousand orders to ship. So we spent the weekend. That's why we canceled Ask an Engineer last week. We didn't think it would be right to do the show while there were so many
On the
orders.
first day we got power back. There was so much to catch up.
So we sacrificed the Ask an Engineer show so we could start shipping. So we shipped as fast as we could, and we got pretty much all the orders out that were pending in a couple of days. There's still packages that UPS is unloading out of tractor trailers because they just kind of froze shipping. So there's still a few things that are kind of getting back to normal, but things are okay. They canceled the New York City Marathon, and here's a fun photo that someone took. So all the marathon runners went to Staten Island and helped with relief efforts. I thought that was really neat.
Because there was no gasoline, so they would run to take packages to people.
Yep.
So
Sounds good to me.
we're doing this.
All the medals for that.
Yeah.
We had a lot of medals to get out, so
They're ready to run, so
They want to run around.
Yeah. So we tried to make sure we took care of all of our folks. John Janier, who's in the chat, I think they just got power back. They haven't had gas. We're trying to do our best to help the restaurants in the area that got hit really hard. So when we had our employees come in, we used local restaurants that didn't have customers for a week, and we're going to keep trying to, if we do anything special, food and stuff, hitting the local restaurants. We have a series of posts. You probably noticed the Adafruit Hearts New York thing. Lamore's on the city council manufacturing group, and they have lots of programs for businesses. We're going to post about that so more people know about that if the businesses are hit. And that's basically it. That's our Hurricane Sandy story. I'm glad it's over. I'm glad it's over.
We never do these graphics.
Yeah, I'm glad it's over, but it's still not over for a lot of people, including a lot of folks on our team. So remember, Sandy's code, and we hope that we can donate some.
That's it, sorry.
Folks. Yeah. Oops.
Wait, this one else.
All right. So next up, let's do the show.
Makey Monday, yeah?
Yeah,
we have 3D Thursday bleeding into Makey Monday.
Yeah, we have Makey Monday and 3D Thursday. We have some new series of posts. Matt blogged up a storm.
Yes.
He does Makey Monday and 3D Thursday. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
When is that joke gonna stop being funny?
Yeah. And you can check those out. Those are features. We're not going to spend too much time on this because we have a lot of new products. Make has a new 3D printing issue coming out. This guide that has, I think this is neat because there's so many 3D printers. There's 3 more 3D printers that just released in the last half hour. Yeah.
You need a guide to understand them all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another quick follow-up. Phil's costume kind of went viral, as they say. You can see all the interesting stuff. He posted up some final photos, and then here it is.
That's cool.
Halloween was storm time, so we didn't get a chance to do a follow-up. But anyways. And speaking of Phil, this is his cat, Miss Toes. For the folks who don't know this, we have a section of the site called Cats of Engineering. So you can send your photo of...
This is fascinating because I didn't know that Pixar made hardware, but there's just some hardware. It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a cool box.
Mm-hmm. It's a cool cat, too.
It's a cool... Yeah, the cat's really cool.
Yeah.
And the computer box is also pretty cool.
All right, some news in open source hardware. Really big news. your friend, our friend, everyone's friend, Chris Anderson.
The good Chris Anderson.
Well, they're all good. Chris Anderson, this Chris Anderson is from Wired. There's a Chris Anderson who runs TED. And
They're not twins?
They're two different people.
Oh.
I think they each independently get credit for each other's work too. It's like,
That's
oh,
cool.
you're the Wired Chris. No, I'm the TED Chris.
That's cool.
So anyways.
It depends on which car you're trying to get into. I guess they probably both have like 2 business cards and they just like pick which one they
So,
want.
it's convenient to have a doppelganger in your field, like just a named doppelganger.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
This Chris Anderson.
So this Chris
Anyways.
Anderson, editor-in-chief of Wired for about 12 years, is retiring out and full-time 3D robotics. So he's getting funding. He got funding for his company, I think $5 million. So this is the 3rd or 4th open source hardware company with venture funding, and he's deciding to be a full-time CEO and entrepreneur in this company.
Welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club. Speaking of open source hardware and Wired and all that, other really big news, Massimo's on the cover of Wired in Italy.
Yeah.
So this is fantastic. Massimo is one of my favorite people in the world.
And look at his wrench.
He has this giant wrench.
He actually-
Arduinos with that wrench.
And this is a big deal.
Really public interpretation of engineering with the giant wrench.
Well, I really want to carry a wrench around with me when I'm
And it's so dirty.
Well, you
This
got-
thing does not work. I will wrench it.
Well, you got that gun thing, and then Bree got the
It's exactly
That's an
right.
actual thing.
Yeah.
Bree's holding the wrench.
I
Yeah.
know it's lit up like it's like some sort of microwave.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to take issues with
So,
Massimo's wrench.
so it's a big deal. And when we were in Italy, we talked to a lot of makers, and they said one of the things about Wired is they always put like older folks and people have nothing to do with technology on the cover. They said it'd be great to have like one of us. And it's been about a year, and the Arduino is so popular, and I think it's such a good national story. It's the leading open source platform for electronics, and it's made in Italy. Unbelievable.
It's a good story because it's used with Olivetti factories.
Yeah.
And, like,
And so,
interesting.
Congratulations, the Arduino team.
Yay.
Well deserved. This is one of the things that I always like to repeat. Dean came in and first said it, but we are what we celebrate. What we put on the covers of magazines actually matters, and it's really good to see 3 of my favorite people in the world. All on the cover of Wired. Unclear what's going to be in the future for makers and magazines like Wired, because maybe Chris is going to be on the cover next after me.
We're gonna get Becky on the cover of Vogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Working on
yeah.
it. Working on it. Okay,
That'd
next
be
up,
cool.
we're going to
Cool.
zip through this stuff really fast. Here's mailbag. I'm just going to read one real quick. Mailbag resume. Thanks for your online circuit diagram information. I was able to make a connection quite easily. The belt is beautiful. Thanks so much for this.
LED belt.
That's right. All right.
Thanks,
Next
Patrick.
up from the job board, if you want to get a job in New York for soldering assembly work, Social Bicycles in New York is looking to hire.
Okay.
They're here.
They're making social bicycles.
That's right. Other big news, 2 quick things from Adafruit. Lady Ada, your account on Google Plus hit 1 million
That's right.
followers.
It did a while ago.
It did. And during the Hurricane Sandy, Adafruit's account hit 1 million. So that's
2 million.
That's
When did we talk about the million YouTube views? Oh, I wasn't there.
million
We're already
YouTube.
at
1 million.
We're
Yeah.
like 1 to 4 now.
Yeah.
So
Oh
you're
yeah. No,
still-
it's exponential.
Yeah. So
I
the
just think
thing,
1 million, 1 million, 1 million.
the thing that I like about this is you have 1 million people that tune into the things that you think is interesting. There's 1 million people that think all the things that the Adafruit team shares is interesting.
That's cool. There's 1 million people who think this stuff is cool.
They just think
That's
it's
cool.
interesting, and that's very powerful. And we promise we'll always treat these folks right. We're going to always put interesting things up. We'll have special things for them. You do a fantastic job with the curation.
Yeah, like I post up cool stuff on the like I just post up stuff I find that I think is interesting.
Yeah.
But then we also try to do like behind the scenes Adafruit stuff on the Google Plus page for Adafruit.
Yeah.
So there's actually like sometimes like you post up something on the Adafruit
Yeah.
line.
Yeah, it's a lot of
put
fun.
something up. But then mine is all like weird art junk and videos of cats
This is how
playing with
this is how people get
with new
inspired.
desk toys.
One quick thing, Becky, you posted up this really neat thing on Craft a long time ago.
It's getting cold out, and you want to be able to use your gloves with your touchscreen phone, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I see everybody
Yes.
with gloves on take their glove
They take
off so
their
they can
glove off.
operate their
Right.
Android phone or iPhone.
So Andy, who works in production at Adafruit, he says, Becky, I have these gloves and I use them to ride my bike, and can you do the thing to them that makes them work with my phone? He didn't say it that way. He said it much more smartly, like, can you sew the conductive pad onto my? And so we use this. We have three kinds of conductive like thread-ish stuff at Adafruit. We have the 2-ply and the 3-ply, but we also have this conductive yarn. It's like fuzzier, and it's also stainless steel, and it's great for this project. So you sew a little pad onto the tip of the finger, right where you touch the phone, and so put the glove on, then see where your finger touches, then mark it, then sew a little pad, and then leave some danglies on the inside of the glove so that it touches your finger to get good contact through to the phone, and you can use your gloves while you're wearing. You can use your phone while you're wearing your gloves.
Yeah.
And I made a video about this back when Adafruit first started getting that conductive yarn for craft, and yeah, it's quite popular. And it's in the blog post about Andy's gloves, and it's a perfect winter project. The conductive yarn is only a few bucks, and you could do it to all your.
And you can do like 10. You can have a glove party.
Yeah, you only need like a tiny bit to make the gloves, so one little unit will get you really far. It's quick and easy, and it's convenient.
Very good tip. Next up, the coloring book is being translated. We've launched Lady AZ for electronics. Right now it's 3 or 4 languages. We're going to provide even more resources for people who want to translate it and print it out. It's Creative Commons, anyone can download it, and we're encouraging translations. We're really happy about this. Speaking of, and just a little shout out to John Junior, he delivered coloring books to kids that didn't have power in New Jersey.
Analog,
So
like offline electronics.
So
crayons and coloring books don't need power.
Then they would start like making their own generators and they'd coil some water. They're like, I learned all about.
So everyone in the chat, tell John thank you for doing that nice thing. Next up, a quick little preview of something that's going on. The Adafruit Learning System is about to have an update.
Ooh, it's a very big update.
Yeah.
Maybe Monday.
Yeah, it might be Monday. Here's the new look of it. It is the best looking, best functioning, I think best learning system in the world. It was
It's
designed.
really a pleasure to write with as well.
Yeah.
Tyler Anderson are doing
It was
a lovely
designed to
job.
maximize your ability to release tutorials, and you guys are cranking out a ton. So we're really happy with it.
We did 3 on Friday.
We have an updated tutorial. It's the pogo pin tester. That
I was working on pogo pins. I was like, we slowed down a little bit moving tutorials over to learning system, so trying to get a couple more.
We're making a lot of pogo testers for FLORA components, and so the pogo pin tester is super
I
cool.
put something up really fast, and I was like, I realized it. We have to, I have like 100 tutorials that still have to be moved.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's just like there's so many.
Right.
Maybe 1 or 2 a week.
And then some quick Raspberry Pi news. We do Pi Day every Friday, so we have 1 million posts on there. If you just go
check
back
them out. We have 2 weeks worth of posts.
Yeah, we have 2 weeks worth. Just 2 quick highlights. Someone got our thermal printer working with the Raspberry Pi.
Cool.
Here's a really cool Pi map. This is just our local area. There's already 15,000 people who've put themselves on the map. There's an estimated 700,000 Raspberry Pis out there right now already. I think they'll probably hit 1 million. Yeah, I think they'll probably hit 1 million either this year or very early next year. That's a big deal. And then there was a great tutorial using our PIR sensor and our fritzing stuff that another John Junior showed.
Nice.
So that is the news. We're going to jump into new products, but before we go into new products, don't forget the code is Sandy, 10% off everything.
Sandy.
And the Adafruit store only till midnight, so get your shopping carts ready. And it's new product time.
Woot.
Yeah, we need a new product song. We'll get on this soon.
New product. Came in, new product.
All right, so we're going to go through a lot of these pretty fast.
Okay, this is Chris Anderson's new book, Makers. It's awesome. It has a lot of stuff in it about 3D robotics and MakerBot.
And Adafruit.
And Adafruit's a little bit in there.
Yep.
It's all good. It's a fun book. I read it. It even talks about like the details of how he started the company, and has some good stories in it. I like it.
Yeah, if you're thinking about starting a maker business, this is probably one of the few books that goes and talks about the journey to starting a company and why, and this next industrial revolution or industrial evolution. Next book, this is going to be in the store on Monday, but we put it in the store. You can sign up for now. Programming Raspberry Pi, getting started with Python. Signing up, one of the best authors out there for Arduino and Raspberry Pi.
A good addition to the other Evans book that we also stock, which is the starting Raspberry Pi, beginning Raspberry Pi. So this is a good addition.
Next up. Back in stock.
We made a bunch of these and then they kind of sold out instantly. But we'll make more on Monday, promise. So
what are they, Lydia?
These are the awesome microphone amps we made. They're super low noise adjustable output microphone amps. And we use them for a couple fun projects, including like FFT, like output stuff and voice changers. And we really did a really good job. It took me 2 years to design this mic amp. It's really good.
Super cool.
This is an upgrade to we put the 12-bit ADC in stock. This is an I2C controlled analog digital converter. This one does 16 bits. So this is a much higher resolution than most analog digital converters you get in microcontroller, and you get 4 inputs or 2 differential inputs, and there's a programmable gain amplifier in it, so it's totally awesome. We like both this one and the 12-bit. We could decide, so we just carry both.
Do you want to show it on the overhead for any reason?
No, this is actually a really good photo.
Okay.
You see a little chip in the corner and ferrite beam capacitor.
Okay, got it.
So.
All right. Next, kind of the big news for us. There's a couple things, and they have things to do with Arduino. There is duets on the way. We sold out instantly. We have a lot coming back, so check the site. We also have the Arduino starter pack. We
Yeah, I can show it.
In soon.
Whoa!
It's okay, it's empty.
Watch out.
And
Yes,
we'll
this
go to
starter
the
pack is
overhead.
cool. I don't know if we're gonna be able to.
It'll fit on the overhead.
Oh, does it?
Well, we can can we?
Why don't you show the book? 'Cause
Okay,
that's
show
the
the
one
book.
thing.
It comes with this massive book.
It's a beautiful book.
It's a beautiful book, and it comes with like wooden cutouts, and it comes
Color.
with you check out this wood cutout that you can make projects with, and it comes with a whole bunch of electronic components. Can you show the electronic components?
We have a photo of those too.
And it comes with an LCD.
Yeah, the packaging, everything is beautiful. This is a fantastic gift. We hope to have a ton of these in stock soon. They sold out very fast,
Yeah.
but we're getting more.
So it's intense.
Right away.
Everything's in cute little
There's a lot of
boxes.
stuff, and there's like it's a beautiful box too. I mean, I can't show this. This is
Yeah, well, I have some photos here.
It also comes with a really neat paper cut out thing that a robot girl used to make her
there's
robot that she just showed in the show and
There's a
tell.
couple paper. It's interesting. So each lesson, it's actually very similar to the Ardex in many ways. Every lesson comes with like a project that you build. So that's kind of nice. So there's like 17 lessons, and then or something like 15 lessons, and each one is like you learn a skill, and then you actually get to build a project with it. So it's kind of nice.
The thing I like about this is you can tell a lot of care and love went into making this. This is a huge project, and the book is stunning, and the graphics in it are amazing, and it's well thought out, and they did a really great job.
Yeah, this is like many years in the making.
Okay.
Printed in Italy.
Next up, this is kind of a new thing for us, and maybe even a new thing for Arduino. This is a collaboration between Arduino and Adafruit. These are their images. We also took some images of the new Arduino Micro. I have to say I like Becky's photos.
Becky's photos, well, they're
this is the new little. It's super tiny. And this has the Adafruit logo on the board. We're very pleased to have a board with Adafruit involved.
Yeah, so this is basically like they had the Mini, which is a very old project. The Mini was basically like
look how little it is.
Yeah, it's so teeny. The Mini was just the Mega 324 or sorry, Mega 328, and then you would use like the USB adapter, just an FTDI adapter, but then. They wanted to upgrade that, and then we've been building our 3224 board for a while, and we talked to them about a couple of years ago about like, hey, you guys should make like a 3224 version of the Arduino, and then finally they're like, okay, we'll do that now. And so we worked with them, and I like this because it kind of has a lot of stuff going on. First off, it breaks all the pins, and the pins are soldered on. It has on my previous connector with a fuse. It has an onboard regulator, and also has a really good power supply system, so you can swap between USB and battery power, and it's input protected. It was really, really nice. You can plug into a breadboard, all the pins are in a row. So there are. I think this is like a good improvement on the Leonardo, which is what it's based off of. It has USB built in, so it acts like a keyboard or a mouse. It's super adorable and cute. And this version is a 5-volt version with pins installed. And hopefully we'll have versions that are without pins installed, and also 3.3 volts with and without pins installed, because sometimes you want something really thin. And I like how they put in the ISP header, so you can reprogram it very easily. So if you want to burn the bootloader or change the bootloader, you can do that. So this is a a really cool design. I think this is really excellent. Really well done.
And we also have a ton of fun projects ahead too. So get ready for those. And we have some accessories that we'll be releasing.
And we have the exclusive to carry it. So if you want to carry one of these, you can either go to your Radio Shack if you have Radio Shack.
Yeah, you can get a Radio Shack or Adafruit.
Or Adafruit. That's it. So I think we're better than Radio Shack.
Although it's great that Radio Shack's carrying all this fun stuff.
We also pick up some other stuff for it. We'll be making some accessories. We didn't know exactly when the micro was coming out, so we didn't want to have the accessories ready beforehand, but we'll have a cute little breakout thingy for it.
Okay.
In spring terminals.
We're going to zip through the rest of these real quick because we have another really big announcement, a new product. So you want to talk about what this is?
Yes, so this is conductive stainless steel fiber. It's kind of like steel wool but made out of stainless steel, and it's a really interesting material, and you feel it, and it's like really heavy for what it looks like. And I like it for felting. I guess you could spin conductive yarn with it if you wanted to, or but I think its primary application is that it's felting.
I ordered a whole bunch of different types of stainless threads, and you like this one because
I like this one the best.
Bunch as much.
Yeah, so we tried different material thicknesses, the fiber thickness, and this is the 20 micrometer. We tried also a beefier one, and then one that was like 4 micrometers, like way smaller, and it looked really wispy. This looks kind of like human hair, but the other one looked really, really wispy and fine, and you'd naturally think that one would be the best one for felting, but it's not. It bunched up too quickly. It wasn't fun to work with. So this one actually works really great. So
here's a felted banana.
It's a banana with conductive buttons on it, and so there's pictures on this
That's what I've always wanted. I mean,
banana
in my childhood, I was always like, man, I wish I had a banana with conductive buttons.
So this is needle felted, and needle felting is you use this simple tool, which is just a barbed needle, and you stab all the time, and it really it mats the fibers together like dreadlocks in your hair, or it just like knots the fibers up together and makes the scales lock up. So you can stab some conductive fiber onto your felt project and make it interactive. If you go to the photo of it hooked up to the alligator clips, it's hooked up to a makey. So I made like, you know how they play music on a real banana, I was playing music on the felt banana. But you could also use it for like if you had a wool sweater, anything that you could felt to, you could add buttons to it, like your socks could control your iPhone.
Well, I thought if you have felty gloves, you could also try felting a dot onto it.
Yeah, right. Instead of using, and it doesn't even need to be felty. It just needs to be made of a natural fiber, so wool. Cotton or wool. Not synthetic fibers, because they don't have those scales so it doesn't interlock.
It has to be hairy.
The fibers have to have individual scales on them so that they interlock with each other. But that's all natural cotton.
And that's how it looks like. We get it in a scheme like that. Oh, hello.
There's a cat over here.
There's a cat over here.
Okay, it's really cool, and my friend Moxie's already using it in her felt sculptures.
Excellent.
And you have to felt it. It can't felt itself. You have to felt it.
Yeah, you have to use it with a natural fiber because the stainless steel doesn't have scales. But I mean, I don't know. You show me what you want to do with it. Like it's possible.
I don't know.
I met you.
I was like, I don't know.
You.
Next up, we have the new RFID blocking passport holders. We sell great RFID products, but we also sell great RFID blocking products.
I think someone tweeted was like, it's so much better to use this than smashing your passport with a hammer.
Yeah. So these are really beautiful.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
This is from Stuart
Stainless steel.
Lamore and I bought these a long time ago, and we liked them so much that we contacted the company and we said we'd like to sell these in our store.
Yeah.
And
this whiteboard overhead thing is also magnetic. The lid is sticking to it.
Oh yeah.
And so it has a little pocket here for your passport, and then space for some cards, and then another little pocket here for some cash or whatever. And it has a magnetic closure and the leather spine.
The compass was going all crazy when you lifted it. Oh my God!
Whoa! Is that bad for it? Or
No. It just freaks it out.
That's so funny. It's interacting with one of the other demos.
Yeah. A great.
I'm waiting for us to get the lady wallet version so that I can
We'll have this.
have the giant lady
This took
wallet.
us many months to get.
I know. They're so
But these are
popular.
A great New York company too.
They're in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think they got really squished by
I think they were delayed. But
They
we
were
got
by
everything
Jumbo,
in
yeah,
stock now. Okay. Next up, we got this little switch.
Oh yeah, I like this switch. Oh, I just moved the table. Sorry.
That's right.
The camera's attached to it too. So this switchy switch is something that my professor in college, Yuri Gitman, who actually made another new product we're going to talk about tonight, he brought us in our making wireless toys class, and he's like, hey guys, I got these switches and they're so cool. They're square and they have their toggle on off, so press on, press off, and nice tactile with a nice little satisfying click. And then it has these sturdy leads coming off of it. So we would use it as a power switch for our plush electronics project. So you could put this in the seam of like your plush toy and have it be like the little tush tag, but with a switch built in. And also great for wearables projects like jackets and stuff. A handy little, you could put it in line with your power source and then have a handy on-off switch.
It can handle like 2 amps.
Yeah, so your whole project.
It's a beefy switch.
And really nice and clicky. And
yeah, I got this for you.
I know. I'm really proud because
2 weeks ago you were like, I really want this switch, and I'm like, I'll find.
I mean, like, I have silly ideas like for the felt banana, but like I never have like straight up like here's a regular electronics component that I think. But so I feel really proud that I was able to suggest
Good
this.
work.
And thanks Yuri Gitman. He's probably not watching, but
Okay.
show him later.
Here's another thing about Yuri Gitman.
And Joel Murphy. It's the pulse sensor.
Yeah. So
You're gonna do a video for this event too, right? We don't-
Sure. I mean, I already did a project for Make, the beating heart headband, and it used the earlier version of the pulse sensor. Although I think in the video you probably won't be able to tell the difference. So this is the amped version, which includes some noise reduction and amplification of the signal. And what it does is it shines a light through. I didn't bring an Arduino board. So maybe you can show the picture of it lit up. The green LED shines into your finger, and then a sensor also is receiving the light back, and based on how much light gets back into the sensor, it shows your capillary action. So it goes along with your heartbeat. And it plugs into Arduino. They have sample code and a processing visualization sketch and little Velcro wristband and dot, so you can have it attached to your finger, and also an ear clip, which is what I use for the headband. So you put the ear clip on, and then the headband was just on my head, and then the little sensor came around and clipped onto the ear. I'm going to show the picture of it lit up. It's cool.
I have it here.
This one.
Yeah. Sorry.
So you can see here how it shines. That's the backside, how it shines into your finger.
That's great.
It's cool. And so Joel Murphy and Yuri Gitman made this sensor, and they were 2 of my professors in college, and that's exciting for me.
All right.
And maybe you.
And here's our really big news, really big announcement, along with a new graphic. John Janier made this photo today. This is the first time you're seeing this, Becky.
It's really nice.
FLORA is shipping. We are now getting these to customers. This is our new wearable platform. Here is a quick video that we shot not too long ago that shows some of the cool things it can do with thread and LEDs. We call it FLORA, Adafruit FLORA, and this is what's on the side of the box, and a great overview. Adafruit FLORA, design your own wearable electronic fashion. Adafruit FLORA. FLORA allows sewable integration of sensor, GPS, LED lights, and more for soft circuit design. This was years in the making. Here is a great photo that Becky took. Here's some LEDs in action, and right now we're making these as fast as we can. What we have is the starter packs. These will be back in stock shortly. We made a few and sent them out right away. Here's a couple of photos of different things that you can do, and you guys are going to start going through it, but I just want to show you.
We have some tutorials too, if people want to see more in action.
This is a wearable GPS, based on a wearable GPS system. And so take it away, guys. Do you want to show it on the overhead, or do you want to...
Becky looks like she's overhead.
Sure, I got the stuff out while you were
All
talking. Out of the starter pack, sorry for the crinkly bags. This is the main FLORA board with the beautiful gold-plated contacts.
Yeah, I didn't want them to oxidize.
Yeah, and
I hate oxidation.
I think
you said you were so sad that your project oxidized.
Oh, I was so sad when I made things with silver conductive thread and then they stopped working, and it's like a hand embroidery, and it's
wearable electronics previously would eventually expire. Now you can build something and it'll last a lot longer.
It'll last a lot longer. And this is this cute little GPS. Oh, it's so cute. So remember I made the GPS dog collar, and I was all like, use an unused pin on the breakout to secure it so that you have all 4 corners. Well, look, it's round. And you sew them all on, and it stays on real nice, so I could make the GPS dog collar again. And then these really great little RGB pixels, that was what was in that video. Got the RGB LED on one side and then the little controller chip on the other. Really cool.
And one of our goals for FLORA was starting out with a project in mind. So the goal is for people to be able to sew in all these pixels and actually make it a wearable video jacket, so you'd be able to display a video.
I think we're going to make a video corset.
video course.
Yeah, we video course it.
Yeah, and then we have a demo. So here's a cool
Oh,
part.
the only thing is this is magnetic, so it's
Haha.
you have to remove this.
Remove that. This is the wallet too was making. This is
Yeah, this is-
Lamore coded this today, I think, right?
Yeah, just like an hour ago.
And I made this. I made this as the tester for the GPS a little while ago, and now it has code to always point to north. So I'm
Yeah,
spinning
it's
it.
actually testing. We have a compass module here, so this is always going to point north-ish. It's not completely calibrated, but it's pretty close.
So wearable GPS, wearable compass module, and the FLORA is an Arduino compatible board.
That is about north, like that way. It's north.
And this is
Yeah.
using conductive
As long as
thread.
you don't have like your magnetic like clasp next to it. And then the
What's cool is that. Oh, you were just going to say about the sensors being wired in parallel.
Yeah, so that's the accelerometer compass over here, and there's a GPS. The GPS doesn't work indoors, and then these are the pixels, and you can see that Becky sewed the pixels in a row, so they're all chained together. And
They're only controlled by one pin. There's power, ground, and then one pin that Daisy chains them all together, and
Yeah.
they're addressable, and so there's fewer paths to sew.
you don't need as many pins either.
Yeah.
Right, they're all controlled off of one pin.
It's green, but it's actually RGB. I just was like, I'm just gonna make it green.
Sure.
Green was.
So what's
And
the power of the LEDs? Someone had a question about that.
What's the power of the LEDs? They can draw up to 60 milliamps. These are really bright LEDs though, so if you don't want to draw as much power, you can dim them. You know, they have
Yeah.
full PWM, 24 bits.
So what's happening now is the wearable compass is
The FLORA is talking to the compass, and it's saying what's my magnetic and accelerometer, like my tilt and magnetic information. And then it does some quick trigonometry to figure out which direction that is with respect to the FLORA. And then I told it like which LED is north,
Yeah.
so that it increments through the LEDs so that the one that's lit is always the one that's the most north.
So you could have a dress that would always glow a certain color based on the direction you're walking.
Yeah.
You could have something
Or
like
like
that.
when you get out of the subway and you're kind of figuring out which way is uptown, which way is downtown.
Yeah.
I want to make shoes or a bag that will tell me which way is uptown or downtown because I don't have good vision. And it's actually really
It's
frustrating.
disorienting when you get out of the train. If you don't know, if you've never been to that intersection before, you can't figure out if you're on the north, but what
Which way's
corner.
west, which way's east, and so we always end up wasting
Yeah.
like 3 minutes. Like, is that 34?
Oh, I hate it when I walk a block in the wrong direction.
And then you
I'll
walk,
just-
yeah, you always walk the, and so they actually do this in Union Square. They used to try to start stenciling compasses on the floor, and so I thought it'd be really cool if like it was built into like my bag or my shoes.
Yeah.
So let's talk. You want to talk about what's in the starter pack?
yeah.
Yeah, sure. I took the batteries out, by the way. These are stolen batteries.
Cool.
Yeah, we wanted to give everybody a lot of stuff to get them going, so they could do projects right away.
Okay, so they get the alligator clips.
The alligator clips, the FLORA. So you can stay on this photo if you want. The alligator clips. Yeah, the exact opposite of what I said was okay to do. The photos are better. So the alligator clips, a set of needles to sew your conductive thread, and there's one of each kind of conductive thread. Sometimes when you're doing a power bus, you want the 3-ply. Sometimes you're doing something more delicate, you want the 2-ply. You can do both. You have the GPS, 8 pixels, a 3 AAA battery holder, and 4 AAA batteries because they come in packs of 2. And then also some IR LEDs, transistors, and resistors for to make your own FLORA wearable remote control, including TV Be Gone. So you could just have it as a brooch, and then bam, shut down all the TVs, or change them all to the same channel.
Yeah, and what's neat is you can start to imagine projects because you know you have a GPS. That also means you have a clock.
Yeah.
So you can do things like, well, maybe I'll make a New Year's Eve outfit that as it gets closer to midnight, a different LED will light up.
Sounds like a good Phil
Yeah,
B
I
project.
wanted to
Phil B.
Yeah.
I wanted to make it so like we didn't have too much. So I was thinking about having a clock module that was separate, but I was like, you know what? Like the GPS can act like a clock, and then you can sew a battery onto it, and so you go outside, and it's like atomic time. It's like you're not, then you don't have to worry about ever setting it.
Yeah,
It's always
that's
right.
great.
So this is a big deal for us. Part of the reason that Becky is at Adafruit because you're director of wearable electronics. So
Look at
you're
all of these wearable electronics there are to direct.
Yeah, and we
Direct them already.
yeah, and
North, that is that way.
North way.
we
Yeah,
wanted
that's
something really cool that we're going to wear all the time. So when you see Adafruit people, you'll probably notice a lot of us will have floors on us. Becky's working on a special project for me.
Your winter jacket.
A jacket that has some stuff. And we're going to document all the stuff. We have the Adafruit learning system, so we can have all of the projects. And we're super excited. We think this is
We
going to
have
be
3 tutorials you can check out right now. One is a getting started with FLORA, and that's how to like plug it in, make sure it works, and load some code onto it. Then we have a pixel tutorial for using the RGB pixels and testing those out and chaining them together. And then we have the GPS tutorial too, which is based on the Ultimate GPS, and it's really handy and useful to get started.
We'll have 3 sensors soon. So we'll have a light sensor, a temperature and barometric pressure sensor, and an accelerometer compass sensor. So those 3 sensors and the pixels and the GPS, I think, cover
a lot, everything.
They cover. I mean, they'll also have like switches and buttons and stuff, but like I think those three sensors, the GPS and the pixels, covers like 90% of the projects that I want to build. And
right. And then we have those other things that you can always use regular electronics components too.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to show how to.
I want to make an LED matrix thing too, because I think the LED matrices are cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
One question: do you solder the thread to the leads, or how do you get the thread onto the board?
You sew it on. The pads are big enough and the holes in the pads are big enough so that you can pass the needle through it with thread many times. And when it's just wrapped around, maybe you can go to the overhead, I can show this one that's actually sewn in. It's wrapped around the contact. Can you see it? And so there's no soldering involved in this one.
Right there, you can sort of see it's wrapped around the hole and pulled tight. And it's a very soft connection.
There's a photo of this one also in the GPS tutorial. There's a photo of this exact demo, just close up in under nice bright light. And yeah, it's just wrapped around, so no soldering. Although on Phil's jacket, I'm soldering like sewable snaps onto the back pads, and that way he can pluck the FLORA off in order to show it to people, because that's
right.
your job.
That's my job.
And then I did solder the snaps on, but then I sewed to the snaps with the conductor thread on the other side.
Yeah, and some folks want to know, is it possible to solder to conductive thread?
You can solder to it, but you need special flux. It's stainless. So you do need, it's a trade-off. You can solder to the silver thread, but the silver thread goes bad after a couple months. It's
you can also use conductive epoxy, perhaps?
Conductive epoxy is also silver usually.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But like the epoxy will only oxidize on the outer surface, as opposed to the conductive thread. That silver has the silver threads, like silver-plated fiber.
I've never seen anyone who needed to solder. If you knot it like a normal, if you sew normally. Like, we put that together.
If you're soldering,
I've never had any loose connections.
Just use, if you like soldering, just use like insulated stranded wire for your FLORA project. That's fine too. Nobody says you can't solder directly to the pads. I would just, from going from soldering to sewing, I usually use a snap in between. My original TBB gun jacket also had the things broken into out to a snap because I had a wire soldered to the board, and that makes
Another
really
thing
good
you can do
transition.
is crib connectors. I've used that. So you use a JST crimpy connector. Like you should get you get them on a strip, and you don't really have to use a crimper, but instead what you do is you crimp onto the wire. You double the wire over and crimp it. Really well, and then you can solder to what you would normally be the pin. It's a hack, but I've done it.
And,
I just think that you can just use well-used wire for your project and solder it together. In fact, some of the good.
But you have to be careful to make sure it's stranded or it'll break.
Yeah,
Because
stranded
the
wire.
nice thing about the thread is that you can flex as much as you want, and you never have to worry about I flexed my arm so many times that it snapped, which is what wires do, which is why people use conductive thread.
And some folks want to know, is it possible to have the thread in a sewing machine?
Yeah, the thread is, it's really sturdy, and I use it in the bobbin side of my sewing machine. I haven't been able to run it through the top.
And you need to have a machine where you can really adjust the tension.
The tension, right, because it's so stiff, it's not stretchy like cotton poly thread is. It's like
wax thread.
Yeah. And the 2-ply is a little bit softer than wax thread, but the 3-ply is like wax thread, and so it pulls harder. It's like not as flexible as the cotton thread, so you have to make the top tension really high for it to make an even stitch. But it works fine even if the tension's not exactly right. What'll happen is the thread on the bottom will pull into a straight line, and the top stitch will kind of be anchoring that thread, and that works too. It's fine. It's just not as pretty.
The other thing you can do is you can. I was thinking about this. You can zigzag over.
Yeah, you can zigzag over.
Thin zigzag, and you just zigzag over the thread, and you just hold the thread or the wire in place, and you can zigzag. That's probably also a very fast way. And also, you can pull it in and out, if you need some adjustment.
And one of the big questions always is, is it washable? Can it get wet? What is the general overview? I know we'll have tutorials.
The general answer is take the batteries out. Yes, you can wash it.
hand wash it carefully, and then dry it.
That's the long answer.
Yeah, and we'll have tutorials for the people who
We'll talk about this.
who want
Yeah,
to seal
I mean-
things up and want to like make sure it can.
In general, most electronics, if they don't have any way for water condensation to get trapped inside, if the power's off and it gets wet and then it dries and the power comes back on, it's going to be fine. There's certain components that can get condensation trapped inside them, and we'll do all that stuff. But yeah, like you, in general, should be able to wash.
And we'll
your
put together some great tutorials because it's a common.
Although, you know,
My-
I've
like-
never seen anyone wash a wearable project, though.
You're looking at one.
What did you wash?
My TVV Gone hoodie.
Okay.
It's a silver thread.
But that's a really simple project.
Really? What do you mean?
No, I'm saying it was like you
Put it in the washing machine.
Yeah, we didn't have like these pixels and thread and all that. It's just like it was just the board was soldered and then it was just the switch.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little
Yeah.
bit different.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it didn't have a lot to bang around, but I did put it in the washing machine. But yeah, I didn't hand wash and everything's fine.
We'll have a great guide because this is going to be something people ask. So we'll have like here's some good tips.
And with stainless steel, the thing is the silver thread, I'd be like, okay, I'm going to wash this hoodie now. How many more times can I wash it before
Yeah.
the silver tarnishes? The stainless steel is not going to tarnish, so that's good. And so if you can protect it from mechanical
You
stresses.
just have to dry it. It's actually not the stainless. It's not the thread. It's the water getting underneath the chip. But as long as it's dry, it's fine. You can also conformal coat it.
Yeah, you know what I've been doing is painting stuff with clear nail polish.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a really good tip.
Which
a,
is
lot, a lot of people use clear
kinda like
polish
conformal
also,
coat,
yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're excited. We're working really hard on it.
I'm really excited. Yay, it's finally here.
Yeah, another couple quick things. Here's some photos. Lady Ada made this great testing jig that allows us to test all the floors. Here's the GPSs coming out of the pick and place machine. So we're going to go a couple minutes over, but that was new products. That was our new product section.
Hooray!
Just remember, anything that's in stock is 10% off tonight. We're going to be donating some of it to City Harvest in New York City. The code is Sandy. This will be going on until midnight. So we're going to go a couple minutes over. So since we're going to do that, we have some top secret products. Not out yet. Don't ask. What are you doing here, Lady Ada?
I'm chewing on some of the products.
So,
Do not eat.
yeah.
Not me.
So
Not me.
this is just for scale.
That's
This is
hungry.
one Lady Ada, and these are these giant segments. What are these?
Just gigantic segments. Don't ask. I'm not out yet.
Okay, I'm not even allowed to ask. Anyways, okay, so those are coming soon. Another thing is you have a little video. The watch is nearing completion.
Okay, late night here at the Adafruit factory. Lady Ada, what time is it?
It's time to make some cool open source hardware.
All right, what is this thing that you're working on?
This is the Times Square watch that me and Paint Your Dragon are working on.
Yeah.
And this is it in beautiful blue.
Yeah, we have a bunch of different colors. It's been fun to watch you test them. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Okay, well,
Now
folks
I
should,
know the time and date.
folks should stay tuned to the Adafruit site.
Yeah, I just got these blue samples in, so I'm excited to offer these in multitude of LED blinky colors.
Okay, this video's going up now.
Okay, bye.
Okay, late night here at the
And then Becky, we got this stuff in.
Wallpaper and fabric.
Yeah.
From Spoonflower. Spoonflower is a custom printing company. They used to do just fabric. Now they do wallpaper too. And so we took Bruce Yan's beautiful toile illustration and had some fabric printed and some wallpaper samples printed. I mean, what are you gonna do with it? I don't know. We got some upholstery fabric, and I think it looks nice on a chair. The wallpaper would obviously look great in the Adafruit kitchen.
Yeah.
And then we got a lighter weight fabric that you could use to make like a blouse or something.
Yeah,
But,
and now that we have the FLORA, we could embed all sorts of interesting LEDs inside wallpaper and have a little FLORA. We could do
whatever we want.
Yeah,
and
fabric.
so I heard about these guys when I was working for Kraft. We did an article about them. Spoonflower, because they got this like giant fabric printer and they have this whole website built up where you can actually like sell your design, kind of like Shapeways. You can put up your file and people can buy your fabric. And Spoonflower will print it. And so these are our samples. Gotta say that like we are in the customer service business, and I did some bad customer mistakes, and they were so nice to us, and like I put the wrong address, and their customer service was so fast and so great, and so
Adafruit-like.
Adafruit-like, and so big ups to Spoonflower.
Oh, good. Do you want to show the watch real quick, lady?
No, I want to.
Oh, the video. You're done.
Yeah,
You're done.
It's not out.
It's not out yet.
It's not out
No
yet.
questions.
We
No
have that
question.
video. Okay.
We should. What are you 5 minutes over. I feel
Yeah, he's okay with being a couple minutes over. Okay.
Let's.
So that was top secret. We'll be back next week with top secret. Some of those things will be out, so it won't be top secret. Next up, we got to wrap the show, so we're going to do a trivia question.
All right.
Lydia, what are the rules of the trivia question?
The rules are: if you've won a fabulous prize, you can't enter this contest. If you know us, you can't enter this contest.
Yeah.
First person with the correct spelling is the winner. The winner today will receive a
version 1 Raspberry Pi.
Model 1.
Yeah, we have a couple extra.
Model.
Yeah, they're in the box somewhere. But anyways.
We have 1.
Yeah, so you're going to get a Raspberry Pi version 1. That's going to be our prize tonight. Yeah, we have a couple extras. They're fantastic boards. We want to give them to someone. So, I should mention it's the 256 megabyte one because that's like the major difference.
Rev 1.
Rev 1.
I don't know if we have said it a few times. Rev
So,
1. Okay.
the trivia question is going to be the first person to type this in the chat that I see. I'm going to award this by. This is Chris Anderson. He has that company now, 3D Robotics, but he has a co-founder. What is his co-founder's name? Young fellow. I think he was 19 when he was CEO of the company. He's not the dude, and it's not good luck.
The dude. Let's do one Russian.
Yeah. It's not also Chris Anderson.
It's not that good.
Jordi Munoz, or Munez. That's correct. Bin OYKJ. Email us. It's not Bryce Roberts, the person up here got it. Email us, support@adafruit.com. You have a free Raspberry Pi version 1, 256.
Which you can put in your UAV.
And there was a great post. This all ties in. I thought about this trivia question. A Raspberry Pi was used for some relief efforts in a UAV. So,
aww.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Will we leave this gas?
Yeah, it's cat time.
I hear the gurgle.
Yeah.
Lots of gurgles.
Okay, here's cat.
Okay. This time of the evening when we have
You want to jump on my lap, right?
Yeah, MOSFET is doing okay. He was a little scared because he had to be left alone here for a couple of days. But we came in and checked up on him.
And you didn't have any more boxes to play with.
Yeah, he has no more boxes because the Adafruit factory. Oh, yeah.
Well, Cascade.
Yeah, the Adafruit factory is now the Adafruit factory, and we live in the old Adafruit factory. So there's a cat. Yeah, this is the first time. So Becky brought over the video light. This is the first time you've been able to kind of see MOSFET and all of his MOSFET glory. Yeah.
He's shiny.
You're so shiny.
Yeah, he has a nice shiny coat.
MOSFET is the same age as my cat, and I'm always so surprised at how he's so healthy and young seeming.
Yeah.
And my cat is.
It's because we forced him to get TV.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's had work done.
My cat is so
There's a lot
elderly
of
compared
There's
to
a lot of cat
MOSFET.
plastic surgery. There's cat Botox.
This paw fur isn't real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's big. It's not big.
Yeah. Can you see his implant? He has chin implants right here. Yeah.
Not true.
He had ear extensions.
Ear extensions.
He's just
His
a beautiful,
whiskers.
healthy cat.
He had like whisker implants. Like they take him.
Ow. Take him.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. From some other guy. Yeah.
Okay, one quick note. Thank you, all of our customers, for getting us through basically being out of business for a week. Everyone was kind and understanding. There were some canceled orders. There were some people that just weren't happy, but we did our best, and eventually we made everyone happy. We did the best we could. Thanks to our employees. Becky was working around the clock. Everybody at the shop working around the clock. We really have.
Thank you guys.
We have a great team, and that's it was the emails that we sent out to everybody. This was tough, but we're tougher, and we take care of all of our people, employees, because that's the only thing you really have. You have each other. So if you're at a company or if you have friends and family, now is a good time maybe to prepare for natural disasters, making sure everyone has everybody's contact information. We had everything set up, and there was never any question about what to do next. What's going to happen? Am I going to get paid? Where should I go?
You're sending out a much clearer message than the EPA about how to clean up the Gowanus Canal spill.
Yeah, I think
much clearer message.
And that's important. So kind of being an open source company has always helped us. We just give out all the information. We let every customer know. But the most important thing was how great the community is. We were posting on Google+, on Twitter, on our blog, and everyone knew everything. And it was really great to get positive feedback the entire time, and people kind of cheering us on. And when the power turned on, everybody knew, oh my gosh, we sent out emails, okay, we're shipping, we're back. And everyone was fantastic. So thank you, Adafruit community. It's a big deal. It matters. And this is why the company is going to be around forever, because we have great community, great customers, great employees. So all that being said, we'll see everyone next week. You're going to be doing a special segment probably every week, either in video that we were playing or whatever. Wearable Wednesday is
coming soon.
Coming up soon. And you're going to have a lot of amazing wearable
FLORA Friday with Pi Day.
I know.
There's FLORA Friday,
It's
there's
okay.
Flickr Pool Friday.
I like to release projects in the middle of the week anyway. Friday's not my day for releasing projects.
Wearable Wednesday, because it's a very broad.
Yeah,
that's
that's
great.
FLORA.
All right.
All right.
And special thanks to John Jr., George, Phil, everybody in our extended family that's out there right now in the chat. And we'll see everybody next week.
Unless there's another hurricane.
Unless there's
No more hurricanes.
Tornadoes.
Yeah, we got that out of the way.
Earthquakes. Volcanoes.
Oh yeah, that's what to do. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
What?
Here's your moment of Zener.
It felt so wrong.
Look, we caught it. That's fine. And now I can play the music again. Let's go back to the music. That was your Zener. I should put the